Good evening this time, and welcome to the Oregon coast. We have traveled across the country and have rented another camper van in Portland, Oregon from Excursion Van Rentals. And this is our second night camping along the Oregon coast. I'm going to give you a camp tour of Cape Perpetua, or Cape Perpetua Campground here in the National Forest. Last night we stayed at a different campground I am not going to recommend at all. Their rules of booking are completely whacked, I think. Everything has to be reserved and paid for on recreation.gov, and there is zero service on site. So if you have not pre-reserved, and even if there are plenty of open sites, and there were while I was there, I couldn't book them. I was given a site that the camp host said, hey, that site's been paid for, and the people left because they got in an accident on their ATVs. It was an ATV campground, 60 sites and it was noisy until midnight. So we're going to start out at the information booth over here, give you pricing and things like that to get started, and then I'll walk you through the entire site. And there are two attractions here, trails worthwhile, and actually a third trail that I will drive to later. And to give you a sense of where we are, probably the most popular thing nearby here is the giant sea cave where the sea lions live. That's only about 10 miles south of here, if that. Like I said, Cape Perpetua Campground in the Siuslaw National Forest. Now the beauty here is you can pay here, cash or checks available. Now rates on this one though are $34 a night, much more than I'm used to in Wisconsin for a National Forest campground. If you have your lifetime pass or senior or golden age discounts, it's $17. There's also a group site available, and that group site has a 2-week. The campground limit here is 2-week stay. Proper pronunciation for the National Forest here is Siuslaw, meaning faraway waters. So we're going to get started right off the bat here. I've got a trailhead here that heads up the hill to a viewpoint. Lots of switchbacks way up there. It's supposed to be a phenomenal viewpoint. We'll check it out tomorrow. Got another trailhead headed somewhere right along here across the river, and this whole campground is one straight shot along the creek. All the campsites are on the creek side. It's really very nice. And on the other side of the creek there's a trail that goes out beyond the campground to an old spruce tree, and I'll show you that in little bits. Now right across from the pay station we've got site 1. How simple is that? And these sites aren't huge, but they're very nice along the creek. This one, you just obviously have a picnic table and fire ring in front of the vehicle. Then we got water throughout, drinking water, and then the camp manager is over here. Firewood is available here. He can set you up with, he can take payments with credit cards as well as the cash or check at the station. And he's very helpful on learning about the trails. Alright, just past the camp host we have our concrete bunker toilet. That actually is a flush toilet there, men's and women's. And as you can see, a little trail going across the creek, and then it goes up on the other side of the hill and down the entire length of the campground. I've got site 3 over here along the edge of the road. They do have bear-proof trash and recycling around the facility here, and there was a bear sighting about 2 weeks before I was here. Let's see, so here we have Site 4. When we get to our site, I'll show you what the creek's like. Here's Site 5, that big sprinter. Site 6 here, this nice little tree, little for this area. And you can see the reserve signs stacked up there. So that one's reserved for quite a while. This one as well. Where are we? 7. All right, so actually this is one that I am here on the 11th right now. So I could have grabbed this site for tonight on the 11th to the 12th. It would have been available because it's not booked until tomorrow night. And that's what these are telling you. So site 8 I could have had. So you have the site, they're actually camping from over there. Their site is over here. And the next one would be site 9 over here on the other side of the water spigot. Now this one's got a little more length to it. Now if you show up, these are actually, if they're totally available, you'll have one of these signs that says available. You just flip it over to the occupied side and put your payment stub on there with the date you're leaving. So this is our van for the week. We rented this in Portland. This is site 10. We grabbed this site about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We did our flip of the sign, made our payment, got our stub on there, and then we took off for a couple hours and came back to our site. Now, our picnic table and fire ring are over here, and tent pad. Picnic table, fire ring, tent pad, beautiful trees, and down here, if you can hear it already, a wonderful little creek. Let me show you some video I took earlier. So we just happen to have water in our site. By the way, the pressure is very strong. Now the next site next to us, it's kind of a, they park here next to us, I believe. Site 11, and they're just on the road. Site 12, parked up here. Nice little grotto space like we have on ours. Site 13, same thing. You can see the picnic table down there. Beautiful amongst the giants. Sort of giants. These are, we're going to see the giants. These are just big. Site 14, same thing. Park along the edge of the road. And their site somewhere down there. Now, like I mentioned, you can reserve these ahead on recreation.gov, but you can take your chances like we did. Midweek, you got a chance. Weekends, probably not so good. All right, site 15. Where's their site? I guess this is them down there. That's 15 down there. Okay, across from more toilet, more restrooms. Yep, so site 15 is a really nice little private space down there, but close to the bathrooms. All right, 16, you can see their space down there. 17 is under those trees. 18 over here, I believe their official space. Is this 18? Sure I get this right. 18 is down there. But as you saw, 18 had their pop-up and they just parked right on the road, which is where they're camping, and that's just fine. 19, another roadside spot, and another little grotto down there by the river. 20 over here with the Airstream. Their sites down there, and all this parking available to them, so that worked out well for them. 21 over here. 22 over here with their Cascade Mountain chair. Check out my video on that. It's a little slopey down. 24 with these crickets. I have never seen these before, but there's 2 of them in this campground. And picnic table and fire ring are just past the trailer. Now I don't know if you can see, the clouds up there are moving really fast. We are just off the 101, and on the other side of the 101 is the ocean, and it was howling out there. But it is dead calm down in here. So this is a nice protected space, even on howling winds. 25 here. It still has a reservation for this, but there's nobody here right now. Their picnic table and fire ring off the back. I think there's a fire ring off the back. No, theirs is here, because that's for this one. 26 is here. All right, moving on. 27 with this old Alaskan pop-up or a tent camper. You get his trail going down to the river there. Now they provide these buckets, and as I believe it says, it's a fire bucket. So if you do have a campfire, they have a bucket for you to put out your campfire. No excuses. 28 here. Fairly level site. Stream is right underneath that log back there that's laying down. I think that brings us to 29. Yep. This one's kind of squeezed in here. But this one has full hookup, so that must be a host type of site too. 29A. This one is a hiker-biker site. So if you show up, I believe, walking in or biking in, something without a regular vehicle, this is your site waiting for you. Slopey down to that wonderful pad down there. Let me show you what else is down here. A 200-year-old tree that was cut down. And it goes across and crosses the trail on the other side of the stream. Now there is an Oregon Coast Trail for hiking, and I believe that's what that's for. And there's also a designated bike trail along the 101 and a few shots off of that. It's kind of crazy, but we didn't see a lot of bikes out there, but I have seen a couple of them. Site 30 here, which is adjacent to that other site, says reserved admin. I don't know what that means. If you can find it on the website, it may not be relevant anymore when you're looking. Not a bad site. Slopes down a little bit. Now we have another one of these big parking areas for 31 and 32. 31 is just right here. 32, I think, might be over here. I think they're down in there. Private spot. Another restroom. This one, long ramp to make it accessible. Let's see what this one says. This is the trail. There's a bridge going across to catch the trail on the other side, so you can see bigger trees than that. And that Subaru site is down there. All right, so 34 here. There's a dip going into here. Another cricket trailer. Because I had never seen those before, so those must be popular on the west coast. This is the site. And then over here at 35 is a newer Alaskan truck camper. And their picnic table and fire ring are off over here. Couple left. 36 here with their side sight. All right, couple down here. Where was I? 38 over here. That's a nice big flat site. 37 on this side, not on the creek. It's a nice little space in here, very nice for tent site. Now at the end of this, the straight run, and off that way is this, the big spruce trail, is the group camp space over here. Kind of have their own bathroom down here, and there's one more site on the way back around. Now as we loop back out of the turnaround section here, we got site, this was 39, and that's up there. You got the stairs going up, and their world is sitting up high. Now even though they're not on the main creek, they have their own babbling creek over here. Now that's all the sites, but that's all the campsites. That's not all the sites to be seen. 2 trails to show you. Well, one trail I'm going to show you out to the old spruce. 500 years old. And the other trail, save for the end. Our van's down there, pretty much across the campsite on this wonderful trail. I'm going to go see the giant spruce. It's not this one that's down across the trail. This one is about 200 years old. The trail's end. Approximately 500 years old. So got up for sunrise this morning, rode the van up a very long twisty road up to a beautiful overlook. And the sun is just clipping the hilltops in the distance. Hasn't quite gotten to where I am now, and low clouds, which are what feed these trees. Most of the water comes in off the ocean like this. And as in so many of my videos, I have to thank the guys, the young boys, young men of the CCC who built so much of what I get to explore. The campground was put in by the CCC. This trail and the road coming up here, which I looked at and go, who would build a road to up here? Well, this boys of the CCC did that. And there's this beautiful shelter around the corner, as well as these walls to protect us. Now what's going on down there is our next stop. Let's go check out that shelter. Hey bear. I'm just doing it because you never know out in a place like this, and I got something to show you when I get back to that viewpoint. Make me really question, how long has it been since a bear was up here? Thank you, CCC. And this particular group of the CCC was the Cape Creek Camp. So it was the CCC of the CCC. They did a good job. So just off the trail from this wonderful viewpoint, my wife kind of noted down here behind us, someone's been sleeping there. Something big. It's like a big old branch broken off, getting in there. Hey bear! Hey bear! One last look before we head down to the bottom. Seems so calm, like nothing's gonna happen here. Okay, so I was here yesterday. Woohoo! Standing in the same spot, but practically getting knocked off by the wind. Today I got waves much bigger and no wind. It is so much cooler. Woohoo! Comes another big one. So you can see through down there. There's a tunnel that goes underneath. And this morning's viewpoint was up here. The shelter from the CCC is right on that point up there. So that's Thor's Well, and these wonderful trails. There are many more trails leading down, several other channels coming in to explore, and when the tide is out, there's also tide pools to explore. Whee! All this right along the 101. So the parking area overlooking van, and there's a couple other campers up there, people camping up there. Overlander says you can spend the night there. The van over there has been there for 2 days with a Starlink sitting in the parking lot. Well, thanks for making it to the end of the video here. So that's my tour of this National Forest campground along the Oregon coast. Now there are several others along here. I do recommend trying to get to the ranger station for this section of the National Forest, just a little bit north of here. Get a helpful guide on which sites, if you're not pre-booking, because like I said, a lot of this is available on recreation.gov. All of these sites are available there, but they do take first come first serve, and that's the way I like to roll. I never sure where I'm going to be when, and I don't want to push myself to be somewhere at a certain time. Don't wait till the end of the day to nab those sites though. Don't book too late. So that's my tour of this wonderful little National Forest campground, the old Spruce Trail, Thor's Well, and the lookout at the top of the hill. All connected here, all trails off of here, or you could drive down to Thor's Well or drive up to that viewpoint. And there are several other trails that just go off into the wilderness here. If you really want to explore, if you're here for the 2-week stay limit, take advantage of all of that. See you on the next one. Get on out there, and if you're out here, watch out for bear.